All right. So, man, well, let's go to here. Fuck that shit. You might have saw something to the right there, but we'll get to that after. So basically, I started doing all like getting my fuel lines hooked up back there, and then I have one there. So when the rail would sit down in that, it was kind of hitting like the VCT motor thing, whatever. So I ended up going because I had the half-inch line coming in on here. You can kind of see where I shaved the rail to kind of just like bypass. But now that I did all that, because this is all right, let me take this all back. Essentially, you see, I have these Pinto, 2200cc Bosch injectors. When I had them on the DE, I was able to get them sit in, make some, rail things to hold them down, so when the pressure comes up, it wouldn't push it out. Plus, boost. So, anyways, that worked everything. So I was gonna keep that same setup. When I start coming to this, basically with this heads being bigger and different, the VCT actuator back there, I started running into clearance issues. So that's when I started shaving that down and kind of doing the head and getting into where I can sit. All because I did not want to introduce another possible leak to the system with these top hats. Now, everyone runs them all the time, whatever. Me, I'm just like, nah, I'm going to make it work. So being how, I guess, stubborn that I am, I did all that and then I made it work. But then now, once I, had that half-inch line come from the back and go to a 90, it was kinking the line. So I'm like, shit. So then I said, let me get an extension to make it up. But then when I had the extension, it starts hitting like a piece of there on the freaking motor. I'm like, oh my god, this is some bullshit. So I ended up swapping the two, so I have the inlet coming in here and have that to me return coming out. Once I did that, this side cleared just fine, but then this side, because it's a 6 AN return, I have like a 45 on it. It can't go that way because then it hits that motor. Then if it goes like this way, it won't sit down all the way flush because then it's hitting the freaking clip or the plug for the VCT, because this one comes up high, that one comes low. I think it shoots up that way. So long story short, I said fuck it, I'm just gonna have to get some of the top hats. So I go and I order these top hats. Now the reason why this whole video is I go, I get it, I'm like, all right, cool. So I go to stick this end, because these are really, I think, like 14 millimeter injectors, diameter. I go to stick this in, and then this O-ring is all tight and shit. I'm like, what the hell? So I immediately jump onto eBay where I bought these. I think I paid like $20 for, this shit. And I'm like, do a return. And then I'm like, but you know what? That don't make, so after I do the return, I start thinking to myself, that don't make no sense, because it's not like they make, generally it's 12 millimeter injectors or 14. So I go, I said, man, it's got to be something stupid, like let's say with the O-ring. So I was taking a shit and I did some research, and then sure enough, I guess LS1 and 2s have like a 0.540, like 54 thou, not 54 thou, sorry. Shit, I can't even think in my head because it's not gonna be as 54 tenths, I guess. Bullshit. Well, anyways, so 0.54 of an inch diameter O-ring, which is this one. Then on the LS3s, I believe they went bigger to a 0.565 or some shit like that. So I ended up doing, I said, you know what, let me do that. So I took off one O-ring, put it on top of that one. Well, actually, I got it here, sitting. I got it there sitting, and it's snagged in snug. So I got the smaller O-ring. Oh, here goes my finger. The smaller O-ring going into the rail. Then the bigger one that was on top of that top hat going onto that injector. And then that one's going to sit down into the plenum just fine. So I got that. That should give me my height that I need to clearance all this shit. Hopefully I don't run into another bullshit. I believe I should be fine with the clearance there. If not, what would be perfect is if this motherfucker sat on top of the fuel rails a little bit. I'm even thinking about possibly putting like, something on top to cushion those down so I don't have to make like some type of fuel rail adapter, because the reason why I didn't get like, or I used the DEs instead of the VHRs. The VHR, like, it was like fucking, it was something stupid ridiculous, like $300 for the fuel rail. And then a lot of them are, since these are returnless, but they do change them to thing. I was like, you know what, fuck that bullshit. So I went and did that because these are a bigger bore diameter than the factory. And I didn't, like I said, want to spend $300 when I already done have the setup. So anyways, that's, you know, where it's at. So I'm gonna actually be popping those on, see if I can get that finalized, because I want to get this shit on, just so I don't have to go back in there. And I know someone might comment, oh, you got that open. Don't worry about that shit, son. But and I know I had tape on there, but when I went to go and put this on and then do that, and then I ran into that, I had taken the tape off thinking I was gonna be all golden. That's why she's sitting there. But anyways, long story short, that's what's popping there. Hopefully I'll go and get that shit resolved like tonight ASAP. At least have, you know, this sitting on there to cover that up, and then whatever. All right, second run of the story. Bomb. You know, I've been saying I've been looking for a bike, and I even say when I say I was looking for a bike, I wasn't gonna be looking for like anything crazy. And when I say crazy, I'm not really, you know, talking about speed or anything. Although I am trying to, you know, like limit myself on that, but really a good deal. So this bike, it's a 750. It's a GSX, so it's like a Katana. It's an 06 750, carbureted, inline four, you know, whatever, the whole nine. So anyways, long story short, I picked that up for 600, and then I had some fairings and stuff, and I was like, fuck, now I gotta need a fairing kit. Fairing kits were like $400 and shit. And so I ended up finding another 600 Katana for I picked that one up for 250, and now I got all of my fairings. I got, because this bike was laid down on the side, so I do got like a new handlebar for that side, and then basically just other odd end parts. All of the brakes I'm gonna have, you know, I'm gonna strip that bitch clean, and possibly even just keep the motor, so if something does happen, I could at least just go back to a 600. But because the other one doesn't have no title and shit, that's what's up. So I did get this, and then this one's got the stock muffler. The other one actually got in the back of my truck. It's some D&D muffler. Like that alone, like brand new, was like 240, but you know, it's like you could get them on eBay for like, you know, used for $100, but it's really just a slip-on. You know, I got the whole thing from the other one, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, so this is where I'm at. Really the biggest things, like I said, is just the fairings. I took them to my boy shop yesterday. I just need to go there, you know, once I come back and sand those down. We're gonna paint that shit white, and then I just need to get some tires. And I started up the car. Actually, it's funny, I started up with the DeWalt battery, or the car, I started up the bike with the DeWalt battery, just to make sure the engine turned over, there was no knock and all that shit, and it was good to go. So I just gotta, you know, redo the carbs, or figure out the carbs aren't getting no gas. And so the person I bought it from was some officer, somewhere, you know, like it was like middle of nowhere in Central Florida. So at least that was all good. Got a good deal. Now just get her cleaned up, get on the fairings, and even the other bike, it looks worse than this, but even with the fairings, it looked better than this. So it's kind of hilarious, but you know, that's it. So I got my little deal. So that's what's up. And then we'll see if I like it, may keep it, or if not, I might, you know, sell it and get something else, like something newer, because it is carbureted, but you know, whatever. But at least it's an 06. It's not like a 98 or something. But anyhow, so that's what's up. But let me get back to this, tackle this shit, and then we'll see what's up. All right, I was able to get those top hats on, and there was like maybe about, I want to say an eighth, maybe a 16th of clearance. So, and then what I kind of did is I just put like a, for now, well, it's gonna work, but it's a just a like a long piece of metal that runs along the top of the fuel rail, and then it sits down with this, so those guys are nice and tight in there. I got all my fuel hooked up, and then I have my fuel pressure regulator set there. I gotta redo these lines. I don't like it, but I mean, I just kind of just threw it in there because I just wanted to see. But I might take that signal from right here, or I don't know. I got a lot, because those guys I'm gonna hook up to the, what's that thing called? The blow, oh, PCV valve. And then so that's that. Then I have the back for the brake booster, and then on the sides I got, you know, those. And I think there's some other like little fine ones that I could use for the map sensor and all that. But now that I got it, like, I don't like this pipe. The routing is fine. It's I just don't like how the texture came out, and plus with those, you know, cheap ass aluminum and the welds, you know, it just didn't be a thing. But I mean, I might wrap it with heat tape. I had did gold one time. I didn't really care for the gold, but just something to kind of. Oh, whoops. So and then yeah, but at least I got all that. And then now as if I could, but what I need to do, I want to kind of support that V band. I think I'm just kind of go cop out the easy way and do like a bottom bracket from there to there. But anyhow, at least that's all that. The only thing that sucks is like I was able to get all this kind of done in the evening time, and then once I put that on and kind of line everything up, then I can finish my cold side pipe and then thing. But whatever, at least she's getting done. So I just got to figure out my hood situation where I'm gonna cut it and lift it up. But that's stage 3. All right, guys.